Now let's quickly run over the second game ban picks, D2.
Yeah, so it's Olaf, Akali, Gragas, Orianna, and I'm looking at it. The only difference from the first game is that
Ooh, a little bit disconnect, a little bit technical issues. Let me go ahead and reconnect back. All right, I think we are back in. Are we back? No, we're not back. Okay, so we're trying to get back to D2 side. The call is not really connecting properly. Okay, now we're back. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. All right.
All right.
So the only difference was that Lee Sin was not banned and Orianna was. So not a whole lot of difference here. And in fact, I don't really think that Orianna was like the biggest problem last game. But
Yeah.
on this, not too bad of a ban there. We're seeing Fiora again. What is going on? Is Fiora in the ladder?
But this time Fiora is going to be the Baron lane. I mean,
Right. I mean, it makes no sense, but still.
and if you look at the overall, we're now watching the Bigetron perspective. But if you switch back to Soul of Soy, let's look at picks. Lee Sin was first picked for Soul of Soy. They have first pick this game. What do you think about Lee Sin first pick?
Let me just double check who banned Lee Sin the last game. So yeah, Solo Soy banned Lee Sin last game. So they apparently think very, very highly of him.
Yeah.
I've every single time I've cast Dave, Lee Sin, his value always goes down as the day progresses, right?
Yeah,
like they'll go
absolutely.
from banning him to not banning him, or they'll go from picking him to not picking him, or picking him first to picking him like last or something. So I think people have like an outsized opinion of Lee Sin. He's kind of like okay, but in my opinion, I would never really pick Lee Sin first. He just never seems to justify the first pick.
The thing is, just like you said, his value depreciates as the time goes in the game. So it's
in the game as well, not just the draft or the day, not just the day, but the game as well.
Yeah, the game. So you really have to like get a huge lead early game. Now this hero, given that this hero does have the potential to do that, right? He is really strong in the early game. Level 1, level 2, level 3s all have power spikes. You know, level 1 is already really strong. Level 2 is stronger. Level 3 is even stronger. That's why this hero can be used to open up those early advantages. Now, look at invade from Team Soul of Soy right here. Oh, it seems like Bigetron doesn't want to trade. They want to come back and defend this.
Yeah, Soul of Soy obviously going to be able to take this red buff, but as you can see on their tails are Bigetron not really going to catch them. It seems like they're actually pushing down mid, trying to gear themselves up for potentially a team fight, but they backed off right away. So consider an advantage here for Soul of Soy.
And once again, guys, sorry for the technical issues. We're still having quite a bit of lag from Bigetron's perspectives. So we're mainly going to use Soul of Soy's perspective to try to figure out exactly what's going on. But we'll try to tell you where Bigetron's perspective, where they are through the minimap that we can see here. Now, we do see quite a bit of lag from Bigetron's stream, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of switching back and forth between the two. So I guess I'll just try to match you. Looking at, obviously, Sealek, I believe, on the Lee Sin right here.
Yeah. Sealek.
And
I think I've seen him in rank. I also play in the server.
A little bit of humble brag. Like, yeah, I play on the same level as these guys. Well, we have a little bit of an engage here as Lee Sin gets a little bit stunned, but able to get away in the end. Able to pick up the Rift Killer as well, the all-important vision. It's funny because like people all very often kind of underestimated or overestimated Rift Killer, and well, in this case, gonna have the division for quite a long time. Gonna be pushing here onto this Ezreal. He's in a really bad spot. Nuts the placement. Oh wow. Okay. A bit of a whiff there from the Lee Sin causes him to die along with the Ezreal. Could have been just a 1-for-0, but turns into a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Lee Sin's not gonna be happy about that whiff there.
I mean, it has to be because it's just the Q missed, right? If the Q didn't miss, I don't think Lee Sin is gonna die there. If you go back, let's see if the replay catches it. Yeah, Lee Sin is gonna go in. Unfortunately, Q did miss, so that's the unfortunate part of it. But it seems like there was a little bit more action right here.
Yeah, our Lee Sin in trouble once again, gets taken out. We have a 2-for-2 on our hands with, I believe, so he was traded for Fiora in the end. Here comes the ult from Ezreal. Doesn't really, nearly actually gets the Camille. So nice try from the Ezreal there. And both on your screen and my screen is very blurry, so I'm having a bit of trouble. It looks like it's a 2-2 in that kill count right now.
Yeah, if you look at the Bigetron perspective, I mean, look at both side team comps. This time, Bigetron, they're not really. They're much stronger in team fights. They got Braum, and most importantly, they have a cannon. And that's it. Oh, we have a little bit of lag.
Yeah, the game itself is lagging in this situation. As Lee Sin, you saw him kind of running in place for a moment there, checking on his Wi-Fi, seeing if everything is all right. It unfortunately is not all right here for Lee Sin, as they're gonna try to go ahead and deal with this dueling up top. Not gonna get much done because of that lag, unfortunately. You can see on your mini map there, 22 seconds on that dragon, as both teams kind of are wary getting into this mid game because of the lag issues.
This is the decider. If Team Soy can get a sizable advantage over here, I think it's gonna be really good for them because that's what Lee Sin needs. If it doesn't get that, he's gonna have problems even split pushing because he cannot win against Fiora late game. He cannot win against Graves late game. He cannot win against any of the fighters or bruisers from Bigetron side.
Yeah, and they're on the dragon at the moment here. Multiple members of Soy kind of trying to zone people out of the fight here. The dragon's extremely low, down to 900. It is taken down by the Lee Sin. He's going to try to go ahead and get on out of the ult popped here onto the Camille. Can she get away? Looks like she is going to be able to get away in the end. No kills on either side as the dragon is taken by Soy.
Wow. I mean, that was really nicely done from Soy. I mean, this team has so much surprise and potential. To be honest, like look at the zoning from his team. I think that's just professionally done, right? Camille, they were trying to scare people away. Meanwhile, in the Dragon Pit, they have no vision. So by the time the jungler comes in or cannon comes in, everybody made it out. So getting the dragon with 0 casualties is nice, but again, that's not that much of a lead. If this scales to late game though, Soy does have Kaisa as the skilling monster. Now, on the other side, the corresponding marksman for Bigetron is Israel, which is also really strong.
Yep. Well, okay, we have a bit of an engage here onto the top lane here. The Graves and the Braum combining here to hold it off for the moment. Israel cleaning up that lane, but a bit scary if you are Bigetron. But yeah, like you mentioned, it's as long as the Soy kind of trades evenly into the late game, they're going to be pretty happy about the situation. I want to talk about that dragon fight again, though, or lack thereof. It seemed like Bigetron was a bit late there. Obviously, good stalling by the Camille to get them away. They were kind of stalled out in the middle of the map there as Camille just kind of baited some damage out. But yeah, here comes the ult out of Camille. Are they going to be able to get this kill? Down goes Fiora. Very well done there. And they're going to go ahead and take the tower as well for their reward. Good game coming up from Soy.
Now, I mean, this is how you want to play the Camille comp. Meanwhile, out of side, Lulu does get picked off by Graves. But we mentioned this before. When you have Camille, you want to utilize the ultimate as often as possible. Every time you have ult from Camille, you should utilize that. You try to pick off a kill, right? Get Camille ult, lock someone down in place, and then gank that person. And that's really well done from Soy. Those are got a tower out of it, but a little bit more skirmish towards the top side.
Yeah, and Camille trying to get even more damage done, takes out the Braum. They're going to try to look for more. Lee Sin obviously trying to jump in on the fight. He has vision, going to go in with his first ability and immediately shuts down that cannon, uses the jumper to get out of there as well. Very nicely played by the Lee Sin here, kind of not realizing that he was in vision of his opponent and gets punished for it. Soy really taking the advantage here as they get the kill, get the mid turret, and even are pushing onto both sides. Really, the only thing going for here for Bigetron is a Fiora slight push in the bottom.
Oh my goodness! Like, just I think back to your point. Why Fiora? Like, Fiora is strong in a one-on-one duel, but if Fiora doesn't get advantage, she become completely like a weight almost, right, for the team, because she didn't really offer anything in a team fight. She's more of a complete split pusher. I think X-Control mentioned this before, even in PC, this hero is mainly just picked to split push because how strong she is in duel. But if you cannot win advantages, it's going to be really hard for this hero to... It's almost just weight. Like, at this point, Fiora is 0-2-1. He's definitely not doing so well. She already lost her tower, and she cannot push further than Camille because she loses Camille right now. But more skirmishes.
Yeah, for sure. Get lots of damage coming here onto the Ari. Kenshi get out. Looks like she's in quite a bit of trouble. Lulu goes down first. Actually, the ult comes out
Ooh.
from Ezreal trying to help. Lee Sin actually just jump in trying to help out this team fight as well. But the so disjointed. He gets extremely low. Has this GA pop. They're going to stick around to try to finish off this kill. He's trying to get the flash. He does get it off in time, and that leads to the death of Graves. Lee Sin jumps back in, gets out, does not die. There's the headsets all the way from Camille to finish off that kill as well. The riposte comes out from the Fiora. Can she get away? She is ignited, I do believe, and that is a kill onto her as well. That is a 4-for-0, or maybe a 4-for-1, but holy cow, what a turnaround.
So of soy. Again, I'm just back to what I was saying. I think this team is packed with surprises for us tonight. I mean, they're going against one of the strongest teams in this group, Bigetron, and they're not intimidated. They're not frightened. They're giving a run for their money right here. You know, like the kiting back and forth. They're constantly juggling the aggro. We saw this last game where they're really good at doing that in one team fight on the bottom side. And now they did that again. You know, everybody kind of taking a little bit of damage back away, taking a little bit of damage back away. Lee Sin dead, come back alive from the GA, and just pull off a beautiful play. Let's take a look at a replay over there.
Yeah, I cannot believe that he got off the the flash so perfectly after his GA expired. Actually gets away, then they get one of the kills, then he jumps right back in, gets the kill again, gets out before he dies, and then Camille gets in, gets the kill, and then runs away, and then Fiora actually dies in the end to the ignite. That was absolutely ridiculous. I actually have another skirmish on our screen as Graves dies as well from the invade coming out from Solosoi, and Solosoi finally showing their skill here, flexing their muscles over Bigetron. You know, this is gonna be a bit of a backhand compliment, but I was actually wondering how Solosoi qualified for the tournament, but they're really showing it now, jumping in once again. There's the headset, there is a dead Braum as well as a dead Ezreal. Kennen jumps in with an ult on all the members, but he actually gets the kill and gets away. Okay, Kennen's just really good, I guess. Double kill comes out here for Kaisa, though, does get the return kill onto him. And that is going to be a 1-for-1 for in the end, after they lost an 0-for-2, they trying to get a 1-for-1 there.
Oh my goodness, dude! So what is going on with all this? I guess it's just confidence, you know. Like after they won that team fight, that must be a huge boost for them.
You know, it kind of makes sense though, because it seems like they're good at, kind of getting the aggro in, jumping out. So they're very good, like, individual players. They know when to get in and get out of the fight. But it seems like it all makes sense now, right? Because they don't work as a team. They work really good individually. Unfortunately, in all of their other games, they just died because the other team just cooperated them. So so that you can kind of see why they qualified for the tournament, even though they struggled in earlier games, because now it all makes sense. It's like as long as they can get into like an even team fight, they can really just juggle the aggro very well.
Remember, guys, the open qualification to select all the team, but 24 teams, they're all diamond and above for season 0. All the players were diamond and above minimum, and that's how they're getting an open qualifier. And out of 24 teams, you select 16 to join this group stage. So
they qualified. It's not like we just some jobber team that we invited. No, they actually qualified. That's why I was so confused why they were getting such poor performance earlier. But now it kind of makes sense now. It's like they were really good individually. Now they need to
their team is really strong. But obviously, 5-on-5, we always mention in any mobile you play, it's going to be a different game than like when you play solo queue, duo queue, or trio queue.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The last thing I want to mention is they're 0-5 in games in this group, and this is like, cornering a wild animal, right? They're desperate. They can't go 0-6 in this group. They can't go 0-6 in games. They need a win here. Solosoi is saying, we're not bad at this game, okay? We're good. I promise you. So they're finally showing their skill here. They want to do it for the pride.
Yeah, they gotta put everything on the table, man. This is the last game to do or die. This is it. You have to do it. Oh, look at that. Here it comes.
Yeah, the Baron potential take here. The ult comes out from the Braum. Who's going to be able to take it in the end? The Lulu goes down, so too does the Kaisa. I'm not even sure who is taking the Baron quite yet, but it is going to be 2 already dead on the side of Solo. So a third does go down, and it is actually a disastrous team fight. And oh my goodness, they actually take the Baron as well. As you can see, the Bigetrons, their minions are getting buffed here when the Graves ran over them. So Baron steal and a 3-4-0 as right when we started complimenting Solosoi for their last stand here, trying to get get this final victory. Perhaps it might not be a victory after all, as Bigetron are on the comeback trail.
This was, I mean, they are ahead right now. They should use objective once again to bait out team fights. They make the same mistake that they made in game 1 when we mentioned, where when have a team come to team fights, they need team fight. Right now it's not about team fight, it's about goal advantage. They have a huge lead. You know, when you have a lead, you should not try to risk any objectives. We mentioned that when you have a lead, why you try to give a 50-50 like chance for an enemy to steal Baron? You know, you use objective bait enemy, and you whoop their ass, you kill all of them, and then you take objective, because that's what lead is for, right? That, I mean, think that, but unfortunately for Soy, they were a little bit lost. I think the biggest challenge for the team right now is team synergy. They need a clear shot caller to make decisions for the team. You know, I feel like everybody, they're really good individually, but when it comes to teams, a little bit like miscommunication or just a gap of communication over there.
Yeah, for sure. And you saw the difference from Bigetron. They losing the fights earlier, but now when it comes to one big team fight, they're able to take it down. Take the Baron as well, and now they are on the warpath. I've seen the top lane that
Here we go.
Fiora actually in a bit of trouble there. It does get ulted upon. She uses her own ultimate as well, but she does go down in the end. So nice gank there coming out of Soy. However, their bottom lane is getting pushed in by both its minion wave and 4 members of Bigetron. Can they get more here? Bigetron, again, they're still... Soy still up in gold. They're still up 1 dragon, right? 2-1 here, as you can see on the menu. So still a pretty decent lead, but their turret advantage is no more. In fact, they're down 1 turret, and it's looking a bit dicey.
Yep. Here it's gonna be a very interesting game. Ari is a mid game hero. They have a lot of snowball heroes. Yes, they have a late game insurance on the Kai'Sa, but their mid lane carry, their jungler, all heavily snowball related heroes. Camille is similar. Camille's bruiser is more of a, I mean, later it gets, the better it is for Fiora, right? Fiora's dueling potential is like no match once she gets her items, where because she does true damage and she heals. So when it comes to split pushing, Fiora's gonna win. Obviously, just now you saw Fiora almost killing the Camille, but it was 1 versus 2 situation, and Fiora died. And even though she didn't have the best early game, she didn't have the best all game actually. 0-4-4 right now, sitting at a KDA. But the game is not about KDA at this point. It's just about gold. And that little bit Baron steal give them such a huge comeback. And Fiora is able to get so much gold off the objective towers, Barons, kills, all that kind of good stuff. So right now she's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, for sure. And they definitely have a decent amount of map control, as you can see there. Only really the bottom lane on your map here getting pushed in here on the side of Soy. Everything else is kind of getting pushed back by Bigetron. Looks like both teams are kind of gearing up for kind of a skirmish. You can see the Camille and the Fiora dueling it out in that bottom lane on your mini map here. But it looks like the Elder Dragon, excuse me, is that the Baron? The Baron is being contested at the moment. There obviously is vision from that Rift Scaler. Are they going to be able to go in here from the from Lee Sin? But looks like both teams back off. Just a risky play here. It looks like Bigetron was trying to see if they could sneak it, but weren't able to do so in the end there. And now map control is ceded back over to Soul of Soy as they push in their lanes.
Wow. Well, what a roller coaster. Brom?
Bro, I'm a little bit in trouble. Your shield's actually pushing the wrong way. Has to use the ult just to be able to get away.
Cannon.
But getting engaged once again. The cannon, huge ult comes out. And actually, the GA is popped here for Lisa. Can he get back into the fight? Actually has to jump out for the moment here. One of his teammates is actually very extremely low. Camille does get her GA popped as well. Comes back into the fight. It's actually okay. The Brom does go down. And he has so many members extremely low. The cannon does go down. Lisa trying to get his revenge. And that is 3 down here for Bigetron. Camille holding on to a sliver of life. That is a 3-4-0 for Soul of Soy.
Oh my goodness! What just happened? Like what?
Brom caught on the wrong side of the
Brom
road.
was a little bit lost.
A little bit lost. I mean, obviously you got to be that living ward, that moving ward as a support sometimes, but a little bit far forward if you're a Brom there. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and now Elder Dragon goes to Soul of Soy. That's gonna be a huge win for Soul of Soy here. Bigetron. Oh, look at Graves.
Oh my goodness, gets the ultimate onto him from the Camille, tries to get on out of there, but does get caught in the end. The ult's coming out onto the Ezreal. He's trying to hold on with his dear life. But Solosoy doing the right thing, finally gonna get onto this Baron, get rid of the wards, get rid of the vision, make it so that Bigetron are completely blind, and they're gonna take this, yeah, easy peasy. It's waiting for potentially the ult to come up from the Ezreal, but wasn't gonna be there.
That was such an interesting fight. I mean, once again, I think it has to go credit to Soy's individual ability to juggle aggro's, right? Like, everybody played to extreme again, and they burned 2 GAs. I think Lee Sin's GA was burned. I think Camille's GA was burned in that one team fight before the Elder Dragon. And then they got it. You know, like, everybody played to the extreme, and Kai'Sa jumped in 1 versus 4. I was about to say Kai'Sa's gonna go kill herself. But just when she took to the limit of the amount of damage she could took, she walked out, started doing damage on the side. And then everybody else jumped in. I was like, what? Just, like, what is this? What is this play to the extreme kind of deal? What doesn't kill you make you stronger? Yeah.
Yeah, especially all the GAs getting juggled, right? Well, they got every time someone got their GA pop, they managed to get out of there alive. But looks like it's going to be one more engage here. One of them, the Lulu goes in, has to use the wild growth on herself, but gets taken out by the cannon in the end. Looks like it's going to be support as Brawl does fall as well. He's going to be continuing to push down on this bottom lane. Multiple siege minions pushing in onto this bottom tower. Not really sure how the Bigetron's going to be able to hold on to this inhibitor turret, and indeed it does go down. And Touched pulled here back over to the mid turret's going to go down as well as cannon falls, and that is the top turret. And this is all but over. Looks like they're just going to try and turn tail and run. The Nexus is at half. It is down to 0, and that is Soul of Soy taking the first game of the tournament and tying up this series.